What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the InnerCityGeeks podcast. It's Steve here, and this is episode 248. And joining me today, I got Brian.
Hey, what's up?
And I got Renee.
Hey, what's going on, man? Pussy Whisperer checking in.
Yeah. It's always fun to see the little runts just.
Yeah, like I think I'm not gonna keep him. Like I'm not gonna bring him in, but I think they're gonna end up staying there for a while because they do not have any desire to get out of there.
Yeah, they don't want to run around. They don't want to go anywhere.
No, I mean they have the space. They're safe, but they need to like I was trying to teach them how to jump, and they know how to jump. They just don't want to leave. So I'm just like, what the fuck? If they're still there in October or summer, then I'll take them to get fixed. But for now, they're good where they are.
Yeah.
The other one's about to pop too. The big black and gray one.
Oh wow!
You could see her stomach moving. So I'm just waiting for her to pop. And then there's another little beige one. I guess they call them Bengals. They look like Siamese cats, but they're not really. It was pouring rain the other day, and I guess where she had them got like flooded. And I saw her taking kittens back and forth, but I couldn't figure out where they went. Like she went behind the house, and like I lost her. Like if you look behind our apartment, like it's all overgrown, and I could not see where they went. So,
well, that sucks.
Yeah, but now the Three Musketeers are out there. They're chilling. They're sleeping.
That's exactly what they are. Is right.
They're sleeping. Yeah, they're sleeping. They're good.
Nice. They sleep and they eat off of two mom cats now.
Yeah, and they're all fat too. They have these little guts. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they are like super adorbs. Speaking of super adorbs, Bri had the birthday children's this week.
Birthday children's. Right. The girls
Happy
turned
birthday.
1. Thank you. Yeah, the girls turned 1. I think the reason why they're not going to bed right away tonight is because they're excited about their party tomorrow.
Do you really think that they're excited for it? Or they just don't want to go to bed?
That too. Normally at this time of night, right? So for those listening, it's like we record this show live on Fridays, and we start usually like 9:30 ish. So like the girls are in bed by like 8 or sometimes like 7:30. They're like knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight they were like, "Oh no, we're not going to do that." And they weren't crying or anything. They were just like smiley and laughing and just really just enjoying the time being awake. Like, it's past our bedtime. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what they're, and so Meg is putting them down right now, actually.
Nice.
So I could join you guys and talk stuff.
Yay, Friday nights with the guys.
Yeah, like that's another thing about what you guys have. Like, she's actually really cool about the whole thing. So like, props to her. I mean, I've never met her, but like I've been saying, like, props to her because she's it's sometimes people get weird because they're just being weird and they don't understand.
Right.
So,
yeah. Very, very big, huge thanks to the Megs. She's awesome.
She is.
Yeah. So this week, well, for me, I've actually been watching a bunch of shit other than what we're going to be talking about, because of course for this episode, there hasn't really been much going on as far as geek shit, but a couple things that I wanted to touch on this week that
like today, like a bunch of shit popped up.
Right.
Yeah.
As far as watching stuff, I watched Paradise City, which is a show that is based off of a movie, American Satan, came out a couple years ago, and it's actually a really good fucking series. It's about music and stuff, and how the music world is all weird and shit, and somewhat slightly inspired by certain things and shit, and it's just a very very, very, very weird type show, but it's actually really good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I enjoyed the movie and I enjoyed the series. It's a really fun series. It has a bunch of dudes from rock bands and stuff. Andy Black from the Black Veil Brides, and one of the dudes from Asking Alexandria, the guitarist. They're both in it. Bella Thorne is one of the is the bassist of the band, who was a Disney chick or whatever that had a huge, thing that happened this year that people were like going crazy over. And who else? Cameron Boyce, who passed away last year.
Yeah.
Who was also a Disney kid that blew up, and he was actually really damn good on the show as well.
He was a good actor. He was Adam Sandler's lead son, older son in Grown Ups.
That's right. Yeah.
So I mean, I know when the anniversary of his death, like Adam Sandler wrote something really like touching and beautiful. Like, I really wish like you were here because we'd be filming Grown Ups 3.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada.
Yeah. He was a really, really good actor, and it was actually really damn good seeing him play the role. Like, you've seen obviously you've seen fucking Sons of Anarchy. So on the show, Opie from Sons of Anarchy actually plays his lost father or whatever. His basically the father that didn't really claim him. And this entire time he's trying to like prove to everybody that like, yo, like, I don't need my dad to do shit. And it's actually like, he does his thing. It's really fucking cool. It's good the way they did it. It's cool. It's a really, really cool show. Seeing the final moments of the season, I highly doubt they're gonna do a second season, but it's kind of sad because of course he did a really good job, and it was pretty much picking up to actually go somewhere with his character into the next season or whatever. But obviously that may not be happening. But it's really good. It's really good. It's really good. It's really good to watch. That's on Amazon Prime. And then another thing that's on Amazon Prime that I like super fucking enjoyed is 000. That is actually a series that is all about drug trafficking, and it's basically trafficking drugs from pretty much all over the world. It goes from the US to Mexico to Morocco to Spain to Italy. It's all over the fucking place, and it's really fucking good. It's probably one of the from what I've read, it's one of those shows that has like the highest amount of money that went into it, and it's really fucking good. It's based off a book of the same title, 000, and the writer also did another movie. I don't remember the name of it or how to pronounce it, but it's with a G. It's on Amazon Prime as well. But yeah, it's really fucking good. It's a really good series. It has a lot of fucking people in it. And it's good. It's definitely worth a watch. Like, if you are into those type of druggy type shows, not necessarily drug use, because there's not really drug usage in it, but there's a lot of good action. There's a lot of good story. The story is absolutely insane. And if you're willing to sit through some subtitles, go for it, because like I said, it's all over the world, and there's some times that you're going in English and then you wind up flipping over to Spanish, or you wind up flipping over to Italian or Moroccan, and it's insane. It's a really good.
How many episodes is it?
10 episodes.
Okay.
It's really, really fucking good. I loved it. And it ties it up very well at the end. It's a badass show. Like, there's some things that you're just watching, you're just like, holy shit, are they really gonna do it? And they do it, and you're just like, wow, okay, I like the way this is going. And every episode, you're just like, what the fuck is gonna happen next? And there are very intense moments throughout the entire thing. There's also very quiet moments as it goes. It's really fucking good. I liked it a lot. One of the main dudes that's in it is actually Dane DeHaan, that we've seen in Chronicle before, and he also played the Green Goblin in Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man. But yeah, it's good shit.
Okay.
It's really good shit. He's I'm gonna say he's the lead. He's in it a lot for the most part. He's one of the main characters' son, so it's good. He has like some type of disease or whatever that gives him like spasms and shit, and he's not on his medication and shit anymore because of course he's all over the world now. But it's good. It's really good. Go check out 000 on the Amazon Prime. And that pretty much leads us to what we're going to be talking about today. Because, of course, we've had a lot of geek shit this week. Not necessarily a lot of geek shit, but we've had a lot of a couple things that were pretty much we're like, okay, yeah, this is what we're going to do this entire episode just on. First thing, well, actually, let me just say that the last few weeks we've been talking about Falcon Winter Soldier, and we will be doing that later in the episode. But today, which is as we record today, HBO Max dropped another geeky fucking movie, shit that we were into, shit that we've been fucking playing forever. Mortal Kombat came out on HBO Max this week. And what do you guys think about HBO Max? About not HBO Max, but fucking Mortal Kombat. What did you guys think of it?
I thought it was pretty good. I'm actually watching it now in the background with the with everything turned off.
Nice.
I have a couple of nitpicks and we'll get into it, but other than that, I thought it was really well done. It could have been way worse than what we got, and it's the fight scenes are really good. The story stuff is stupid, but even in like everything Mortal Kombat, like the story is just there to get them to fight each other. I liked it a lot. I think they did more things right than wrong, and we're gonna explore it a little bit further. But yeah, no, I really think it's a fun movie. I think if you're a fan of the genre and like martial arts movies, and you're a fan of Mortal Kombat or video games in general, and you just need to watch something, check it out. It's actually really good. But it's the kind of thing that you have to completely check your mind at the door. Like like none of it makes any sense.
Yeah.
But like if you don't take it too seriously, it's a really good, fun movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was better than expected. Renee's right. The storyline was kind of dumb, but the fight scenes were really well done. Nice choreographed fight scenes. I did enjoy the fact that this really was like a completely different film than what we've gotten from Mortal Kombat movies.
Yep.
And I gotta say, Louis Tan was like fantastic. As a Cole, yeah, thank you. It was good. I thought it was a solid, cheesy popcorn flick.
Yeah, I completely agree. On all over the place, like it is a very, very solid flick. Like it's one of those. It's one of the better video game adaptations to the screen, or to a live action thing that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Because of course we had a Mortal Kombat movie a bazillion years ago, and that was okay. It was still not good, but it was okay for what it was back then.
Yeah. 1990 something.
95, I believe.
I think I saw it. I'm pretty sure I saw it in the theater, and even back then I was playing Mortal Kombat. I remember like playing Mortal Kombat for money in Times Square.
Nice.
The second one and three, I used to play for money in Times Square.
I saw both of those movies in theaters, just so you guys know.
Nice.
Yeah, I paid to see that shit, and then like I think I walked out like halfway through.
I actually worked for the theater I saw it in at the time. So Annihilation, I went with a date and her brother and his date or whatever, and like it was just nice. We saw the movie and we didn't have to care.
Right. My first thing that I remember for Mortal Kombat was actually playing Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis, because I had it on
the
there.
blood.
Yeah.
The blood.
Yeah.
The Super Nintendo version that had the blood.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't have the blood, so I was
You
like,
think it's
yeah,
like you think it's the blood code,
right? Exactly. Fucking blood code, Jesus Christ. So what were some of the things that you guys enjoyed from this movie? Brian.
Renee, Renee, you could go first.
Yeah,
All right. Like I said before, the fight choreography in this is really, really good. I knew Louis 10 was supposed to be Cole, but I didn't really check the cast until like this week. And the cast has some like really heavy hitters when it comes to acting and martial arts stuff. The guy who plays Sub-Zero, he's from The Raid. The first thing he did in Hollywood was The Raid. He's one of the cops in The Raid. He's the one that gets killed. He's the cop that gets killed, like really, like in the beginning. Like you think it's his movie, and he ends up getting fucking shot in the face. And he's in a couple other martial arts movies. He did there was one that he starred in that was on Netflix for a long time. I cannot remember the name of it. It's some revenge thriller, but it's really good. And it's like hardcore martial arts. I forgot the fucking name of it. He's really good in this. The guy that plays Scorpion is like a big time Japanese actor.
Yes.
And he's the one big complaint that I had is that he's not in it as much as you would think he's in it. But the scenes that he's in are like really good. Like I saw the preview, the 7-minute preview that HBO put out this week, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then watching it, I was a little disappointed that he's not in it for more than what he's in for. But his fight scenes are awesome. The other thing about the movie that's really good, and you see it in that first fight scene, like immediately when this guy starts fucking people up. A lot of the stuff that happens in the game, like they actually put in the movie, and I was like, yo, that's pretty badass. Like to make some of that shit work is like really like it just doesn't work on screen on a movie, but they pulled it off. Like when he throws like I said, I've been playing Mortal Kombat. I still play Mortal Kombat today. The new game came out like last year. Last year. And it's probably the best version of Mortal Kombat. It's ranked as the best fighter right now. It took the title from Street Fighter V.
Nice.
And it's a really brutal game, and like the shit that they got from that version of the game is actually really cool, really well done. When Scorpion grabs the guy, when he stabs him, then he like yokes him to the ground. That's like one of the moves that Scorpion does in the game. The clothesline thing, to get over here, all that stuff, it was really cool. The cast was cool. Everybody was cool. I love Kano. The guy who plays Kano is really good. He was hilarious. I was kind of hoping that they would keep him as a good guy, but of course he swerves. And like that. The cast is great. The fighting stuff is awesome, which is kind of like why we were watching it. But like the story stuff is just nonsensical. It made sense. Like certain things in the story made sense, made Mortal Kombat sense, and then other stuff just didn't make any sense. But I like the way they did it. I think I'm a pessimist when it comes to this kind of stuff. This movie could have been fucking horrible, but they actually pulled it off really well. And I hope we get another one. I mean, let's see how they figure this shit out, but I really hope they do another one because it was actually really good. Right. And James Wan's is like recent stuff has been really mediocre. Like, so I was really surprised that this was actually really good.
This was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. What did you think, Brian? What were some of your favorites of it?
Some of my favorites. I mean, honestly, let's start with that opening fight scene alone. When Hanzo straight up like grabbed the kunai out of the dirt, and because kunai originated as an all-purpose tool before it became like a weapon, right? So like the fact that like he grabbed the kunai out of the dirt and just really started going to town, and like the fight scene's very well choreographed. I do like the amount of blood in that fight scene,
right?
And also fast forward down the line, Makad Brooks, who we know is James from Supergirl,
James Olsen.
So the fact seeing him as Jax, I thought that was pretty fantastic. I didn't know he was in this. So I remember when I was watching, I text you actually, Steve. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like James from Supergirl.
Yeah. See, this because I knew because we spoke about it on the episode a while back,
and like I thought him as Jax was really good,
mm-hmm.
And then like I really enjoyed the fact that like that fight scene with Sub-Zero and Sub-Zero breaking first off the way that was done with the grenade.
Yeah.
Where like you see it freeze in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And just the look on Sub-Zero's face enjoying the fireworks frozen.
Yeah.
That I thought was really good slow-mo. And also just the fact that Jax got his ass whooped by Sub-Zero. But you just see his arms freeze and just it's so cold that his skin just like falls. It kind of peels away in the ice, and you see the tissue and stuff, and then you're boom. That it was kind of like a slow mo just explosion. Yep. That was done nice, and I really enjoy the fact that like it was a he's feeling down about it moment. You know, here you gotta as he said to Sub-Zero, you know, he did 6 stores, motherfucker.
Yeah,
and then like to just get his ass whooped, and then him feeling down in this like cave talking to Sonya later on in the film, and like he has these like flimsy looking, crappy looking
these toy arms, yeah.
These toy arms that look like rejects from like the T-800.
Mm-hmm.
and then when he's fighting and they broke, and I'm like, oh, and then you just all of a sudden you see what is it called, the Akana, and it's like like come out, and like he becomes like this jacked Jax.
Mm-hmm. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
But then he uses them, and he's like, yeah, these will work.
Yep.
I thought that was done really well. I do like the fact that I like the way Goro was used.
Yeah.
And that like anytime he showed up, I was like, okay. And I gotta say, Shang Tsung was done really well too. And I was wondering where I knew him from, and then I looked on IMDb. So the actor's name is Chin Han. He was actually Lao in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, he's a like quote unquote like, I mean, I remember him from some stuff, but he's like a really famous Chinese actor.
Yeah, because I remember I saw him in The Dark Knight, and then I saw him again in I saw him on an episode of Arrow or two.
Okay. I think
and then
there too.
He was like the first season actually in Arrow. And then he was in that really crappy 2012 movie.
Huh.
And like I'm sure I've seen him in other things, but that's more so what I remember him from.
Right, yeah.
But like I thought he was really good as Shang Tsung.
Mm-hmm.
The actor playing Liu Kang, I think was pretty fantastic. Kung Lao alone with his hat.
Yeah.
And that fatality. Oh.
Yeah, I honestly wasn't expecting them to go all the way through with it.
No, me either.
That's from the game too.
Yeah.
But just I wasn't expecting for him to actually throw it on the ground and for it to start spinning like a fucking blade, and then her to go through the blade, and get chopped in half. Like, I wasn't expecting that.
He's sort of like he's on her back, right? And he's like riding her into it.
Yeah. He's like stuff pushing her in. Yeah. He's the chick that he killed, the character that he kills is like a fan favorite too, which is actually really funny.
Nice.
She's not in the new game. She's in the last couple of games.
Okay. But I enjoyed a lot of it.
Was it a great film? No, but it was definitely better than what we've gotten. Because I've never watched any of the other Mortal Kombat like shorts or like the animated, but like for me, Mortal Kombat was always Mortal Kombat and Annihilation, and it's like I will rewatch Mortal Kombat, sure, but Annihilation, I'm like no. But watching this one, of course, seeing the Red Band trailer when it dropped, I was like, okay, I could see getting into this, but I was also expecting this to fail.
Yeah.
And because like my heart wasn't in it, you know, but then I really gave it a shot, and I was like, okay, let's see. And I was actually really surprised.
Yeah. I also was very surprised. Like I wasn't expecting dog shit because I was actually really excited from the first trailer. I was like, okay, I like this. I like the way everything looks. I like the way everything feels so far, just from the trailer itself. And then seeing what they started to do with the characters and the people that were playing the characters, I was like, okay, I like this. But like for me, I'm a huge fan of James Wan. I absolutely love all the shit he does. And I was like, okay, he's gonna do good with this shit. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. Like I want to see it. And then I started watching. I was like, yes, I loved it. It had the dark tone, and it was actually put together really well. Like as far as cinematically, it was actually done really well. Like there wasn't any like super up close fights. Everything was pretty much for the most part like
I noticed. I love that they did it like that. Like they did it. They didn't use the Bourne style of like fucking fighting, which I'm really glad that Hollywood kind of got over, because a lot of the Western movies were like that for a long time, and then like movies like the Raid 2, and some other stuff that came out from Asia, they brought back the classic style where like it's not close, so you can see everything, especially when it's more than two people fighting. Like you need. I'm a fight nerd and whatever, but like you need to be able to see where the hits come from and like how they hit, connect, and whatever. And in a lot of those Bourne fights, it was really hard to figure out what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
Especially the ones when it's like more than two people. Like I'm just like, what the fuck? Yeah. But Batman 2 had that shit too. Like I was watching Dark Knight because they put Dark Knight Rises on HBO, and I was watching it, and that one still has a lot of that kind of like close fighting, which I totally forgot about. Like they do that mistake of like the Bourne style stuff, and you can't see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. I love the fact that everything was pretty much like out in the open. Like you could see everything that was going on, and I was like, yes, I loved it because of course like we said it. Like I like you're a fight nerd. I'm a fucking fight nerd too. Like I love seeing these fights actually. How it all works out. That's why we fucking love watching all these shows, and then we watch fucking like the Arrowverse and all that shit. That shit is all fighting shit too. Like yes, it has superheroes and shit, but it also like it's fucking cool shit to watch. Like seeing people actually do shit that I wouldn't fucking do. I wouldn't fucking be kicking people in the face and shit. But it's fucking dope to see it actually happen and actually look actually realistic in a way. Like when Liu Kang did the bicycle, because I was like, oh my god, that was my favorite move to use from him in the fucking game.
Same.
And then when he pulled up the dragon too, the dragon looked fucking good. It didn't look like shit. I was like, yes, not a shitty fucking fatality. I loved it.
The costumes were really well done too.
Yeah, the costumes were really well done.
They really were.
Like they really put in some work into it and actually made it look realistic. The only thing I'm gonna say was kind of like the I'm not gonna even say a bad part about it, but it was kind of underused or like overused. It was the fact that like Sonya wasn't a chosen one to be in a battle and shit.
Yeah.
Like that was the whole thing for her whole thing for the entire fucking movie. Like, oh yeah, I'm a badass, but I'm not chosen. I'm like, okay. Why do they have to keep touching on it? Like, just let her just be a badass. Not have to worry about proving herself the entire time.
I thought a cool little feature in that movie was at the end where Emily and the mom were like freezing, and Liu Kang comes out of nowhere and the fire comes out of his hand, and they're like they jump and he's like, no, I'm gonna warm you.
yeah, that was really cool. That was really cool. It was a lot of good shit that was in there. I was like, yes, I'm glad they did this.
Like I get what you're saying about the character stuff, but it's like, I mean, they kind of did kind of harp on Sonya, but the movie has a lot of characters, and they made the story kind of work even with all those characters, and to do that, like they had to kind of like, sacrifice some time for characters. Like Melina is she looked fucking hot, and like they don't know, they don't say anything about her other than she's like, a creepy chick besides. What was the other one? Raiko, the guy with the hammer. He's a character from the old game. They only show him at like the fight. I mean, I would have loved to see more stuff, but then the movie would be like 3 hours.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? We might get a Snyder cut out of it.
I don't know. So Raiko was actually Nathan Jones, who had a short stint in WWE.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then he left wrestling to. I still remember his vignettes being fantastic. He like was just bad, but like he was in Hobbs and Shaw. He was in 2011 Conan, 2015 Mad Max, Fury Road. Like he's done stuff. He was in Troy. So like he he's like a character actor now. And then it was like I think I'm gonna watch the movie again.
Yeah, it's fun, man. Like the other thing, like I saw a bunch of shit online this morning, and I was just like, what are people fucking talking about? I know people were like, we don't need Colt, there's enough characters in the game, but you kind of, if you're not gonna make a movie about the Scorpion or Sub-Zero, like you need somebody there to be like the human guide or whatever. And that's what he was. I figured out who he was in terms of like a descendant of Scorpion. Like I figured that shit out like halfway through. I was like, wait a second, he can't like just be there for no reason. Like there's a reason why he got chosen.
Yeah.
And then like like near the end of the movie, they fucking kind of reveal that he's a descendant of the baby that Raiden rescued in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, like his daughter or whatever.
And like Raiden knew all along, and he just didn't tell his kids. So it's like, what an asshole. But then again, he's a god, so what do you expect?
Yeah, God's fuck.
That was the other thing that I liked a lot too. Like Raiden, like they kept it, in the mythos of the game, and he's supposed to be an Asian guy.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. No, what am I saying? They always fuck it up. He's like. Like in the game, he's supposed to be like a Chinese god, and like he's a white looking guy.
Yeah.
So like, but yeah, I again, like as a fan of Mortal Kombat since the beginning, there's a lot to love in this movie. And there's like nitpicks that I had, but my biggest like complaint about it was that Scorpion wasn't in the movie as much as he should have been.
Yeah.
See, I thought for some reason that somehow they were gonna actually turn Cole into fucking Scorpion. Yeah,
that too. I was either gonna that was either gonna happen, which I thought would be really stupid, but it would make sense in terms of Mortal Kombat. Right. I also love the fact that they filmed a lot of this in Chicago, and Chicago is where the team behind Mortal Kombat is from. Like that's where Mortal Kombat was born, in Chicago.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Because like the scene where he's getting chased and stuff, that's Chicago.
Okay.
I recognize the streets. Plus, Chicago is one of the few cities that still has alleys, and like that's why like it gets used for a lot of movies and TV stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, but I enjoyed it. I the entire time, because I kind of figured it from the beginning. I'm like, okay, yeah, he has to be some type of descendant or something in some type of way to Scorpion. So I was like, okay, is he gonna wind up like getting his Akana be the Scorpion shit? Like him actually turned to doing the whole fucking get over here. No, that didn't happen. But it was cool that they were like, oh yeah, he's always gonna be with you or whatever. So you just think about it, and he'll come and he'll help you. And I like the way they did that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I also like that they all pretty much redeemed themselves towards the end, and they were like, yeah, we kind of did shit in the beginning when we first started fighting, but now we actually were all badasses now.
I like that one scene in the kind of what was like the middle of the movie, I guess, where Kano's like going back and forth with Kung Lao.
Yeah.
And like he's just going off on him, and and then finally it's like, oh hey, beep, laser.
Yeah. I'm still the best, motherfucker.
Apparently he's from Superstore.
Is he?
Yeah.
Huh.
I've never watched it, but Megan has.
I've watched
really funny.
It is.
Really funny.
I've watched the entire thing. It's fucking great.
He plays Tate. So
okay.
He's one of the, I think he's one of the warehouse guys.
Okay.
I gotta give it I gotta take another look at him outside of the fucking makeup and shit, because he had a beard and shit and makeup and stuff. But yeah, I liked his character a lot. Yes, he was like a bit of the comedic relief throughout the entire thing.
Oh yeah.
But it fit. And I like the way they did it when he was being an ass the entire fucking time. It was good. I liked it. Like I'm excited to see the possibilities of a sequel, which is kind of what we kind of saw towards the end of the movie, where they were like, "Oh yeah, look, you were supposed to fight Johnny Cage next."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I also like the fact that they brought in Reptile, but kind of like
an actual reptile.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just gave him a totally different name, and they didn't call him Reptile. They were like, "Yeah, look, it's a lizard thing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the heart fatality, I thought was well done.
Yeah. It's like it's just a gator, like people in Florida like to say.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I liked it a lot. Like I will be watching it again, and I'm like, okay, definitely check it out. Like it's definitely it's worth the watch. Yeah. Especially if you got HBO. Like I wouldn't mind actually watching this in theaters.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know if I would have like seen it in a theater, but like it looks good enough that I might go see the IMAX.
Yeah, for the fight scenes especially.
Yeah. It's yeah, man. It's a really well done, fun, goofy movie. I want to say a couple of things because some of the stuff I saw this morning like really annoyed me because it's like with a lot of stuff that we like, you have to kind of suspend your belief.
Oh yeah,
and then people get fucking disappointed because they don't have it because whatever happens in the movie or whatever, like it doesn't make sense to their view of what the movie should be or how it's supposed to be done. And I'm like they were bitching about Cole, they were bitching about some stuff with Jax, and I'm just like, you're talking about a movie with ghost ninjas, people throwing ice from their fucking hands, a fucking demon that's like 20 feet tall and has like 4 arms. Like you either accept all of it or you accept none of it and just quit your bitching. Like it made no sense to me. Like people were fucking complaining about stuff, and I was just like, yo, like what the fuck? Like what were you expecting? Like when you go to see something called Mortal Kombat, you expect a certain level of stuff. You don't expect Shakespearean tragedy. You expect goofy bullshit and stuff I used to watch back in the day on Saturday and Sunday before cable. And like I really don't understand like why certain people just take this shit way too seriously. And I'm like, yo, like just fucking enjoy it. What killed me is like a lot of people were like, yo, like this is garbage. And I saw this more than once on the hashtag. It's like, oh, if you like this, you're not a real Mortal Kombat fan. And like I never really understood the whole term of gatekeeping until I saw that this morning, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. And I'm like, fuck you. Like I remember I used to play the arcade game. I was there since the beginning. Like there's a picture of me somewhere in my mom's stuff wearing a Mortal Kombat t-shirt. Awesome. I pretty much like not grew up, but like I played it a lot in my youth, and I'm like, yo, like I like the movie. Just because you don't like it or whatever, you're fucking judgy, whatever.
Judgy McJudgeon.
Yeah, like doesn't change anything. Like it's just like, to me, I thought it was really well done. And again, like I said before, I'm a pessimist when it comes to this kind of thing. Like this movie could have been way worse.
Yeah.
And a lot of the reviewers like were like, "Yo, like this movie's garbage." It's not garbage. It's just that there's certain things that aren't made for everyone, and I had to figure that out the hard way. Like when I was doing my own podcast back in the day, like a lot of stuff that like I personally don't think is good or I think is like just mediocre or whatever. That's just not made for me. This movie is made for people who like us and whatever that are really big Mortal Kombat fans. I mean, I'm looking at my wall and I have like a couple Mortal Kombat figures. Yeah, it's a movie definitely for fans of the game. Like I said before, fans of the genre, like, you know, goofy kung fu movies. Like it's really fun. Like I don't need to be like, how can I say this without sounding really stupid? I don't need to have my brain like. There's certain movies where I know going in I'm going to use my brain. Like I'm going to have to think. Like The Little Things. The Little Things was like a completely different type of movie.
Absolutely.
But I fucking enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I had to use my mind a little bit to kind of make things work in the movie and in my head. But for this, I was just like, fuck it. Like I just let that shit happen. That first fight scene is really good. It's probably one of the best fight scenes in a movie in a couple years. And that kind of just like, that was a great way to kind of like keep it going. It's really good. I'm not saying it's a great movie. I'm not saying it's Oscar worthy. It's definitely not, but it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
Right.
It was just meant to be a bunch of like crazy people beating shit out of each other. Which it delivers. Like I don't understand why people are like just like ragging on it like hard, like personal. And I'm like, yo, like calm your tits. It's not that serious. Childhood. Yeah, and I'm like, yo, it's not that serious. Like,
shut the fuck up.
If something like a movie can ruin your childhood, then that's your childhood's fault and your parents. That's not anything that happens today. It has nothing to do with your fucking childhood, right? Like, you need to grow the fuck up.
Seriously, it is not that fucking serious.
but no, I mean, yeah, like the story's not like Mortal Kombat Annihilation bad, but it's really like I understand why they did certain things to make it work the way it works, but I think they took away a lot from the story and some of the better parts of the mythos by trying to keep it like centered on reality. I guess I can't really. That's not what I mean.
They tried to make it more like an actual story, like something that could really happen.
Yeah, and it was just like the story stuff, it was kind of like weak compared to the action stuff.
Yeah.
But this, I think once they get to the temple, that's when the story really picks up for me because like the first half is kind of I mean, Kano's cool and all, but like the first half of the movie is like really like what? But once they get to the Raiden's temple and all this stuff,
to the training and everything,
like that's when it picked up for me, and I thought it was, you know, all right, this is Mortal Kombat. I really, really enjoyed this movie for what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Go into it just expecting a video game movie. It's a movie based on a fucking video game. And like you were saying, like, yo, dude, these are fucking fictional characters. Like, get the fuck over it.
Right.
The other thing is that there's a bunch of Easter eggs for people who are like really, really into the game. Like the amulet that Kano steals and then like Liu Kang's like put it back. That's a huge deal in the games. It's it's Quan Chi or the other guy. There's like the guy that's really behind the scenes is Quan Chi, and there's another guy. That amulet is used in prison to the main bad guy leader. Like his spirit is in the amulet, and it looks exactly like the way it looks in the game. So I was like, oh shit. And if you look in the statue, and if you look at the statues in Raiden's temple, you freeze it, you can see certain characters from the game. Like there's a statue of like a Baraka thing. There's a huge statue of Goro in the beginning. There's a statue of Raiden, and there's a statue of Shang Tsung with like a different face. And like another Shaolin monk thing. There's like a bunch of shit if you're like paying attention to the background stuff.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna give it another watch. So,
but if you didn't play the game or haven't seen like the cinematic stuff from the games, like you wouldn't know. But like, the amulet that he takes is really important to the story.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, all right, because like in the games, like the movie, Mortal Kombat's been going on for a while, and like there's like been tournaments every like 100 years. I think it's supposed to be every 100 years,
right?
And yeah, like whoever wins it, that realm is the one that controls everything till next time. And like like in the movie, like if Earth loses one more, like they become part of the Mortal Kombat realms. Earth realm, they call it Earth realm. If they lose the next tournament, then that gives everybody else permission to invade Earth.
No, don't invade Earth.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
I mean, if you guys like this, I recommend a couple other things. There was like around 2010 or 2011, some guy came out with I forgot who he is, but somebody made a short, like kind of like fun like short film based on Mortal Kombat. Okay. And it had Black Dynamite as Jax and like some other like big time actors. And
nice.
It's called that one. The short movie is called Mortal Kombat Rebirth. It's actually really cool to find. It's still on YouTube. But after that, they made this thing called Mortal Kombat Legacy, and it's like it has 2 seasons. The first season is kind of like but the second season they kind of like got some money, and you could tell. The guy who plays Shang Tsung in the old Mortal Kombat, he's in it. He plays Shang Tsung again. 7 of 9 from whatever, Jerry Ryan, she plays Sonya. Nice. Jax is Black Dynamite. I ended up buying it because it looks really bad on YouTube, but I mean you can see it on YouTube for free. Amazon, I think the season was like $6, but it's actually pretty cool. It ends on a really good cliffhanger too, and I was like, fuck, they didn't finish it.
Nice.
And the fights in that one are really good too. Really gory, really bloody.
I gotta check that out. Definitely gotta check that shit out. Yeah, so is there anything else you guys want to add to this whole Mortal Kombat talk?
Like I've been saying, man, if you haven't seen the movie and you're like on the fence about it, like just check your brain at the door and you'll have a really good time.
Yeah, definitely check your brain.
Grab a snack and just go and watch it.
Yeah. Just shut it off and just keep watching. Don't think too much.
And again, like I keep saying, it could have been worse, and I mean that in the best possible way. That like this movie could have been really fucking bad.
Yeah, it could have been.
And it worked out really well because James Wan hasn't done a kung fu movie, so I was like, let's see what he can do.
Yeah, it was actually really damn good. I'm excited. I liked it. So much that I'm gonna be playing the outro to Mortal Kombat right now because why the fuck not, right? Just before we get into some more Falcon Winter Soldier. So we'll be right back. God damn it. There we go. God damn it. Yay.
I was expecting the Mortal Kombat scream. Actually, there was a couple of things I want to talk about before we get into what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
One was something that I forgot about Mortal Kombat. None of it makes any fucking sense, right? Sub-Zero's a Chinese ninja. There are no Chinese ninjas. That's like I was like, what the fuck? I remember like the old Mortal Kombat song had the lyric, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's supposed to be Chinese. It's like what the fuck? Like it really annoys me. Grinds my gears when people in the fucking in the internet or on Twitter or whatever are just so fucking stupid. And I'm like, yo, like how the fuck can you take this seriously? And we're gonna be talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier really soon. Yes. We'll get into that with the news. What was the other thing? Oh fuck! All right, This is gonna be a little ranty. I hope I can do it really quick. Fuck Mystery Science Theater 3000. Okay. They have a Kickstarter and they made more money than some countries don't have now. They made, I think the last time I checked, it's at 4 million. Yo, if you're listening to this, all two of you, and you're giving money to these fucking idiots, I want you to reevaluate your life. I want you to look at your bank account and send me that fucking money, man. How the fuck, yo? I don't understand how people like. Look, I don't like telling people how to spend their money because I don't want anybody telling me how to spend my money. But at the same time, like, there's some shit that you don't fucking need in your life. Mystery Science Theater 3000 is a big one. Dude, like, first off, Kickstarter in general, like, I remember when you had to work for your fucking dreams, okay? Like, this is bullshit. Like, you gotta ask somebody, you beg strangers for money to fucking, so you can do something that is gonna fulfill your life, and then maybe you'll give it to somebody else. Get the fucking fuck out of here. Like, get a job. Get a real job. And I don't mean OnlyFans or whatever the fuck. Get a real fucking job. The amount of money this shit made is fucking ridiculous for a property that was already big, and it's not my fucking fault if you can't handle money. Like, there's two big examples of it, and I remember when they fucking did this shit, I was like, yo, don't give them any of your money, because it's bullshit. They're putting it on the fans to pay for something that's really fucked up. Paying them through our subscriptions, you're already paying them through going to the movie to see it, when movie theaters come back. So for them to ask us for even more fucking money is it's a fuck you to the fans. And the fact that people don't understand that really grinds my fucking gears. You had Super Troopers 2, which I thought was really funny, but they had the fucking nerve to kickstart that. And I'm like, you motherfuckers made money. You had a TV show, you had a hit fucking movie. It's not the fans' fault that you can't handle money. All right. Same thing with Veronica Mars. Another one that's like Firefly to me. Like, I don't get the fucking hype. And then, like, they fucking made a Kickstarter for the movie. How the fuck are you gonna do that to people after they fucking watched your show for years? I was like, yo, like, that was a TV show that had money behind it, and they still wanted more. So they fucking made a Kickstarter. The other thing about that is a lot of people don't understand how distributing works for movies and TV shows. If something's gonna be on HBO, the HBO has to pay for that. So that means because Super Troopers 2 and Veronica Mars, they're both on HBO. So that means they already had money backing them before the Kickstarter. So what the fuck? And the same thing with Mystery Science Theater. That shit, I don't get it. I saw like two of them, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I guess this is kind of funny if you're stoned, but I don't fucking get it. And then on top of that, to be fucking mediocre and then ask for money, and then to make $4 million fucking dollars in less than 2 weeks. That shit went live, and they made their goal of $2 million that same fucking day. I'm like, dude, there are people starving and dying in this country, and you have the fucking nerve to ask people for money now? Go fuck yourself. That's like the Optimus Prime, the $700. Yo, for $700, that shit better transform into a fucking job. All right, that's rent. Get the fuck out of here, man. But yeah, I've been wanting to say that shit since like for 2 weeks because that shit pissed me the fuck off. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's not my fault you fucking spent your money on hookers and blow. That's on you. Like, get alone. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, ugh. And people are really into that shit. And I'm like, yo, like, I think I only gave to one Kickstarter, and that's because I was fucking the chick. That's about it. Like, I'm not doing it. I don't subscribe to OnlyFans, especially the fucking cosplayers. And I'm like, yo, like, you people are if you were willing to do that for money, I don't know what to tell you, man. Because like some of the shit that I know about cosplayers is beyond fucked up, and the fact that they're doing that shit now is even more fucked up. But that's a personal thing. Like a lot of that shit, I am not gonna fucking give you money, my money that I work for, so you can fucking fulfill your dreams. Get the fuck out of here. How about you help me out, all right? I fucking gave you money for how long? And now you want it more? Get the fuck out of here. Rant over. I've been holding that shit in for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, some of those Kickstarters are kind of weird. Like especially that one. That one's like, dude, that one had a whole Netflix series. Like what?
That's funny. They had Netflix money behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see why. Yeah. I don't see why they needed to do a whole Kickstarter for it, especially with a whole Netflix thing behind it.
And I'm not you like that. Like, if you don't understand how distributing works, whenever you see something, they on top of whatever money you gave them for the Kickstarter.
Yep.
Right.
It sucks. Yeah.
But yeah, that was my thing that I want to get off my chest before we got into it, because I've been like, oh, fuck you guys.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. No, it's definitely something that's something that's out there. Like, of course, people enjoy things, and I get it. I get if you enjoy certain things, but the fact that like these people actually make a lot of money, like, or not only just the people that make a lot of money, but like they have distributing rights. They have ways of actually getting it done that doesn't need us fans to actually put into it. So,
and the other thing for me is to have some fucking dignity, man. Like, when I had asked for money, when I came down here and the car was fucked up and I had asked for money, I was like, I wanted to shoot myself in the head. Like, I was like, oh, I really don't. I hated myself for doing that. These motherfuckers asked for millions of dollars, man. Grow some fucking dignity, and just fucking pisses me off, man. Money's money, and I'm like, dude, like, be smart about how you fucking shit it away.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, something that money is used very much in a good way to actually make this actually come out is what we're going to talk about now, which is Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yay, we finally got the final episode of Falcon Winter Soldier. Hopefully not the final everything of it, but we did get the season finale of it, and it was quite a spectacle.
Yes.
After pretty much getting a good lead into the ending, I was like, okay, what's gonna happen now? Where are we going? We saw that the Carly was rounding up the troops, and that Falcon and Winter Soldier were both figuring out ways to get to New York to go to stop them. And we're here now, and this is what we got. And the battle, the all-out battle ensues, and it was fucking epic. It was fucking great. What did you guys think?
And somebody on the landing, and I totally agree.
Hey Renee, your mic isn't coming through.
Yo, my shit froze.
Oh shit, okay. So Brian, what's good, Brian? What did you think of Falcon Winter Soldier?
Oh, I thought it was great. I could not wait to watch this episode. Especially like how last week ended, just like how with episode 4, and I couldn't wait to watch 5.
Right.
I was so like pumped to watch this that like normally I like wait, make some, I wait till like noon. Kids are probably napping. Hopefully, I'll make myself lunch, put on the episode. I was like, nah, this. I straight up made a bowl of Rice Krispies and sat down and was like, okay, kids, quiet. Dad's watching his show.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
What was the... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go.
So, like, sitting down, having my Rice Krispies. The kids are actually, believe it or not, like, because, now that they're 1, they're alert and very, like, they see colors and and yeah, they feel texture or whatnot. It's like they're watching Falcon, right? They're literally like sitting there and they hear the music too, and you're gonna see the looks on their faces just like in like pure joy and mesmerization, you know. And it was cute to watch, but like oh man, just everything about the finale was so on point with life. And there were moments that really I nearly burst out crying because one, seeing Sam in the suit, that suit was almost perfect to what it looked like in the comic. Like that is actually the closest I've ever seen a comic to MCU style suit.
Yeah.
But also the meaning behind Sam taking the reins, taking the mantle, and just it was just so chilling to watch in such a good way. So I almost bawled with that. I almost bawled when Sam gave the speech at the end.
Mm-hmm.
When Isaiah Bradley gave him a hug.
Mm-hmm.
When John Walker had,
you're about to start bawling now too,
right? He kind of had like a sort of change of heart for the moment, where it's like, I'm still against them, but these are people that I'm sworn to protect, because he's still Captain America in his head.
Mm-hmm.
And then him helping out, and then even just after like he did his best, and then he gave a look like, I'm sorry, and there was some sort of like, we still hate you, but let's go get them. And they were still like a team, because Sam and Bucky are, you know, they're better than that, you know, and they're all about, you know, catching the enemy, not killing the enemy.
They were being adults about it.
Yes. That moment. Oh, holy shit! What else? This was a roller coaster ride of a finale in all the best emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sharon Carter being outed as the power broker.
Yeah, which is what we kind of figured out from last week.
Yeah,
the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And so like she straight up killed Batroc. Or she shot him. We don't know if he's dead.
Yeah. It was good
when
though.
When she shot and killed Carly though, and that got me too.
Yeah, because it looked like Carly was like, okay, yeah, I don't want to die.
Because it's like, and remember how we were saying that like she kind of let the movement get to her, and like she totally changed. So I noticed this when she was dying, she kind of like forgot that moment. You know, she's more like, I'm still human. Like I had a movement, and now I'm gone. And like you just felt the scared little girl not knowing what was coming next for her in those final moments, and it was just chilling. And it was just sad, but like in the best way possible. And that, I mean, what's her name? What's her real name?
I don't know.
Who?
Carly. What was her real name?
Hang on.
I know it's something Kellyman.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Is it Erin? But like, I mean, that girl can act, man. Like, I've only ever seen her in this.
Erin Kellyman. She's in Solo. She's one of the. She's the leader of like the other gang in Solo.
Yeah, that girl. Like, I know that there's speculation that this series is gonna get some sort of like Emmy categories. I hope this girl gets something for it, because like she was really good.
I agree.
Yeah,
she fucked up. Like you were saying, she fucked up. What was the last thing you guys heard when I was talking?
Pretty much when you were saying that you enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah, like
it like really much cut out.
All right, so like Brian said, there was a lot of stuff that I to love from the beginning of the show, like from the beginning of the episode. Like the action scenes in this were really good, really well done, as every action scene has been in the show. That costume is comic perfect, and I think Brian touched on it. Like I didn't know. What would have been awesome is if they made him like a Black Panther suit, but that's a whole other thing. I really like the look of the look. The thing about the costume, some of the costumes that are in the comics, they don't look good on screen, but that one worked out really well. Same thing with Walker's U.S. Agent costume, which is like Walker's character in the comic books now. I was like, holy shit! I was like, yeah, like, it's awesome because when he shows up in New York to fight, he's wearing the old suit. But with his like with his like newly made helmet and newly made shield, and I was like, okay. And then he redeems himself in the beginning of the episode, and I thought that was pretty cool. Like some of the pacing of the series, I had a problem with. Like a lot of shit that they don't show, they should have shown for it to make sense. Because for Walker to kind of like just pop up out of nowhere was really kind of like a surprise. But I guess that was what Sam meant by backup.
Yeah,
right.
I really enjoyed the pacing issues. That's what I was talking about. The pacing issues were a little weird because like you didn't see Walker get to that point. Like last time we saw Walker, he was just like angry and working on his own shield. But we didn't see we don't get to see or hear the conversation that they had with Sam and like, we need your help for this. Bunch of other stuff too. Like some things just happened really quick. And I was just like, all right, like, but that's the problem the whole series had. A lot of people were complaining online about certain things, and I get why they complain, but it's supposed to think of it as a 6-hour fucking movie.
Yeah,
and you'll enjoy it a lot more. I think a lot of the negative reviews too are like a black man being Captain America just doesn't fit a lot of people's worldviews, and I'm like, again, it's a fictional fucking character. And guess what? Marvel's going to come out with a gay Captain America pretty soon. So if you guys want to keep fucking complaining about shit, there you go. I'm not. I'm like, yo, whatever. Like Captain America can be anybody, and he's for everybody, which is the whole point of Sam being Captain America.
Sorry, Renee, I'm going to interrupt you for just a second with that. It's like they even touched in that moment in the speech too, where he says like there's like 1 million people that are going to hate that I'm Captain America.
Yeah.
So, but go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the if you look at the complaints on IMDb, a lot of it is that like he shouldn't this and that, and I'm like, dude, like Captain America literally gave him the shield, for him to be the next Captain America.
What did you expect?
Yeah, like
dumb.
And again, it's a fucking fictional character. I love the way they tied up every loose end in this episode.
Yes,
I had ugly tears at the end when Isaiah saw the statue. I was like, oh my god, like,
yeah,
because I just read Truth again, and the ending in the comics is way worse than what happens to him here. That's another thing. If you read Truth, you guys have to like really like squint because the art is atrocious, but the story is really good. Yeah, like the episode tied everything up really well. And I hope, and I've said it a few times, I hope that they keep Sam as Captain America for the foreseeable future, because in the comic books, he was Captain America for like 2008.
For a few years.
Yeah, from like 2008 to 2015. Or 16, whenever Secret Empire came out. Like I had my one complaint was like the speech. Not because of what he said, but more because it's like it just stopped the episode. Like
it did bring it to a halt.
It was like the speech at the end of a Scooby-Doo episode. I was just like, or G.I. Joe episode. I was like, I get why they had to do this, but I'm like at the same time, like I'm enlightened. It sounds like such an asshole. I'm enlightened enough to understand that Sam being Captain America is a big, huge deal. So the fact that he said all that shit and he's like, he acknowledges that, like, you gotta start calling these people terrorists because guess what? I believed in what they believed in, and they're right. You guys are wrong. Actually, that part of the speech I thought was awesome. Like telling when he's talking to the banker, the person on that board that's like a banker. She was like, "Yo, like you could fucking level a forest with an email. Like you guys can change continents with a fucking swipe of a pen. Like, which is exactly what happened in the 5 years that they were gone.
Yeah,
because Sam was gone too. Sam blipped out too. So it's like, everything that happened to him and that they showed with his family in the background stuff. It was fucking cool, man. Like I had a big cheesy grin for most of the episode. I thought it was really well done. I fucking cried at the end of Endgame when this guy gives him the shield. So it's like to see Sam fulfill that destiny that he has in the comic books is just like, you know, chef kiss. The other thing is that like Bucky has his turn as Captain America too. So I kind of want to see him do it too. But like if they do it like that, it's kind of different because he's still like Winter Soldier. And he's still like he's still dealing with the guilt, but like I said about like, you know, tying loose ends. He tied his loose ends, and he gives the thing to Zemo. Oh, that was the other thing. Not Zemo, the psychiatrist. That shit with the butler blowing them up, and Zemo's like, yeah. I was like, oh shit, that was awesome.
That shit was great.
Yeah, because when the cop is like one world, one world, one people. I'm like, oh, here we go again,
right? I know, and then all of a sudden, boom! I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're gonna. We don't know what they're gonna do next in terms of these characters, but there's a couple things they can do, like from the comic books. A lot of people thought there's a bunch of rumors about the show that like General Ross is gonna show up and be like Red Hulk or something, or like, you know, General Ross is gonna be in this. U.S. Agent in the comic books ends up being the leader of Thunderbolts for a little while. And he's like reforming the bad guys, and he actually does a pretty good job. Like a bunch of them died, but like he does a really good job. So I'm wondering if that's how that's how they could do Thunderbolts in the show. I know it's one of the ideas they're trying to like, you know, make work for the MCU. If he ends up working with Zemo, it would just be fucking perfect.
Yeah, like a reformed Zemo.
Yeah, Zemo's one of the Thunderbolts. He's the leader in the comics for a while, and then. Like in the last couple of years, I think Luke Cage was the leader at one point. Yeah, and then the last one
Venom was too.
Yeah, Agent Venom was the leader for a little bit, and then the last one has been what's his name? U.S. Agent.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually like an overall like great fucking episode. Like, I loved the way that they, for the entire series for the most part, the fact that they do really good with showing how Falcon moves around. And they did it great with this one too, especially now with, you know, a new Red Wing and his new gear and everything, and it all fits perfectly.
What does he say to that one guy? Like, you just earned your ass whipping.
Right, yeah. It was so good. Like there was so much good in this entire episode. I was like, Jesus, like there was no wrong. Like I was like, okay, no. I really, really enjoyed it. Like it was one of those things I was like Renee was saying, like, you know, I kind of had like lady tears after a while. Like that, I was the same way. Like I fucking teared up like a little bitch real quick. Like at the end, I was like, no, so sad. Why is this over? It was really, really good. Like I loved every single minute of it. Like every single fight, all the dialogue. Like there wasn't a lot of crazy, huge dialogue, but what was there was actually really good because there was a lot of poignant parts from everybody that was there. Everybody had, you know, their moment to be pretty much like either like say like, okay, yeah, this is what's going on, this is what I want to happen, and you got to figure it out. And they did it, and they did a really good job with it. Like I loved every single minute of it. I'm like, why did it have to be over? Because now we gotta wait for some more shit to come out.
Yeah, but you know, he's Captain America. I love that at the end that it says Captain America on the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I thought that was great too. Now, do you think now at that scene at the end where they're all hanging out and having a party, you know, by the boat, and like Sam's nephews are and I think it was like another girl too. Like they're hanging on Bucky's arm.
Yeah.
You think it was kind of like reassurance that Bucky's arm was not weak.
Yeah, that could be it.
Because right, the last two episodes, first, Io, like she takes the arm by like just pointing at the pressure points or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the arm gets like fucked up by John Walker.
Yeah.
It's like because he kind of was like a smirk on his face too, like look.
Yeah, so, look, I could do it. Yeah, but then you also see him in the episode when he like rips off the fucking door from the truck.
Yeah.
The paddy wagon.
Yeah. The paddy wagon that was about to explode or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wish they had kept the other super soldiers alive, but they kind of had to kill them off to kind of like prove a point. Plus, it's just too much to have a bunch of people with the fucking powers running around in the MCU. Yeah. Because they were like, yo, like this is not what we signed up for. Like we don't want to kill anybody who's like innocent. Like when Carly's having that little speech trying to get them worked up, and they're like, yo, nah, like this is not what we signed up for. Like we had a mission and we kind of succeeded, but you just want to keep going. You know, the world understands our situation and whatever. She's like, nah, they gotta die. And I was like, wow, like she's completely off the edge. The other thing that had me cracking up, and I hate to admit it, was when they killed Batroc. I was like, die, you French fuck. I was like, yo, like, kill this motherfucker already. Because his fight scenes with Sam are really good. That fight with Sam was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just his fight with original Cap in the first one, I was like, oh, this is fucking dope. Like he's really good, and it actually fit the fact that they actually put into this as well, because it kind of goes full circle. Like you see one Cap with him, and then you see another Cap with him.
Yeah, he's actually in France. He's actually a really well known fighter.
He used to do UFC over here too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he does that. That style that he fights, that's really it's a French form of kickboxing, and they do things a little differently than most other kickboxing styles. But it's actually a really cool fight. It's a really good martial art.
Yeah, like he was actually I think one of the UFC champions for a while.
Savate. It's either Savate or the other one. Lots of kicking. It's French for kick the guy.
Kick him in
I was like, die, you French fuck. I was like, stop popping up, man. No, I really liked the episode. I was just in awe, like entranced. I was like, wow, they did such an amazing job.
Yeah. I had like a big ass smile on my face the entire fucking time.
Yeah, like what a time to be a geek, right? Like we got Mortal Kombat and that. Plus Invincible, plus Creepshow for me. So
it's so much good shit.
The one thing about I really like it. I'm glad they didn't destroy New York again.
Yeah,
right.
The whole I figured out that she was a power broker from the episode of Madripoor.
Okay,
so it was kind of like, all right, because if you look at the episode of Madripoor, right, she was never in the same spot or room with someone who could have identified her.
Right.
Like she was never in the same space as Carly. She was never in the same space as the whatchamacallit, the geneticist that made the super soldier serum. Like he knows what she looks like.
Right.
So that's why she didn't go in.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Excuse me. Yeah. Like if you watch the episode again, you'll realize that like she's doing things a certain way because she knows what's up, and she's the power broker.
Okay. I just thought it was mostly because she was on the run. That's why she had it, like she was all covered up most of the time.
Plus, she's at the bar when they first show up. She's at the bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she knew they were coming. So who else but the power broker would know?
True.
Right.
And again, I love the way Zemo fucking like from fucking jail. This motherfucker got these people.
Yeah. He put a hit on them. It's fucking great.
Yeah. Like it took me a minute when I saw the butler blow them up. I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh shit, that was the butler.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for a
like
quick second, I
Alfred?
was like, who? Yeah, exactly.
That was
exactly.
Zemo's Alfred.
Yeah. So Zemo's Marvel's version of Batman, then a villainous Batman.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
That actor was like so good. He's in some Formula One movie that I definitely want to check out. It's on Netflix with him and Thor.
Oh, Rush.
Yeah. He plays Salva, whatever. Famous, right? They're both famous, like F1 racers. And one of them dies, right?
Yeah, that's like Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, because in the story, like I remember reading some of the articles and stuff because I used to be into racing when I was younger. Yeah, I know one of them didn't survive one of the big races, but yeah. Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's like the scene that they show on Netflix when you like leave it playing on a thing shows Brule just kind of like talking about how the differences, and it's like a really cool scene. And I was like, yeah, all right, I might check this out.
And what's the name of the movie again?
Rush.
Oh, okay.
It came out around. I think it came out somewhere between Thor and Thor 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, but Falcon and Winter Soldier is actually really damn good. Or basically, you could pretty much say Captain America and Winter Soldier. That's fucking awesome.
How do you guys feel about the whole series as a whole?
It was great. It was a lot better. It was better and different than WandaVision.
Yes.
Completely two totally different series. And they both brought something totally different to the MCU. And I love the way they did it with this. In this one. Because like of course, I am a big fan of Cap, and I love the way that they did this and the way that they pretty much transformed a person that originally we thought wasn't really going anywhere other than from the knowledge of the comics and stuff, being ambiguous about it, because of course we only thought of Chris Evans playing Captain America.
Yeah,
right.
We weren't thinking that they're gonna kill him off. We didn't think they were gonna do that, especially towards when Endgame came out. Like, they're actually gonna kill him off, and they actually did it. We didn't think that's what they were gonna do, but yeah, it made sense, and it's good. I'm glad that they actually brought the comic back to life and made it different.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Brian?
I generally like the series as a whole. And Steve's right. Like between WandaVision and Falcon, bringing something very like different into the MCU. WandaVision I loved, right? But like I really feel like I enjoyed Falcon and Winter Soldier or Captain America and the Winter Soldier a lot more. Because like we all went into this, right? We all went into it thinking this was going to be like a buddy cop style show. And yeah, they had some aspects in that, but it really wasn't. And it was kind of a game changer. And over the last few episodes, anytime that like Sam and Isaiah, were in a room together and just knowing everything that they put him through. And it's, as we spoke about the last 2 weeks, it's like we did not think that Marvel was actually, or Disneyfied Marvel was going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kept thinking that, like, especially during that speech, I was like, wow, like somebody at Disney approved this shit.
I thought the same thing. I was like, holy shit. Like I stated earlier, when Sam was saying about how he's a black Captain America, how there's a million people that out there that are not going to approve of this. That's when I was really like, son of a bitch. Like, it's so true, especially with everything that's going on in the world, the last
week,
50, not even that, the last like 50 years.
Yeah.
Fucking
400 or 500 years, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, this was a really solid series, and I really hope they continue on with it. I know it's supposed to, like I stated before, there's rumors of like Emmy nominations.
Yeah, that they're gonna the way they how can I fuck, I forgot my train of thought. The way they put it up for Emmy and whatever nominations and stuff, it said series, not limited series, not mini series, not like, because like Wanda, it said series. I think they're being a little cheeky, and they're like, yeah, we're not gonna make another season of the Falcon, quote unquote, and the Winter Soldier, but we'll do another one of Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
That makes a lot of sense,
because they're being really aloof about it. Like, oh, we're gonna do another one. We're not. We are. And then today, like this morning, that shit broke. I guess they were waiting for the last episode to come out. But yeah, like Captain America 4 looks like it's gonna be Sam.
Mm-hmm.
And the team behind the show is working on the movie. I mean, it's in production, like it's in serious super pre-production. But yeah, like they announced it this morning, and like every fucking media outlet had it on their shit. Like it's like one of the top stories on my Google feed.
Mm-hmm.
It's the show. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to say, I personally, the whole series, I think it was fucking great. It's one of the better things that Marvel's done. It was better than a couple of the movies.
Yeah, it was better than Thor: Dark World.
Oh yeah, but like the other thing about this is that it got, from what I'm hearing, it got a lot of people to like really check this shit out and like actually into the comics, because this is the kind of show like WandaVision and even like The Mandalorian that you can show to somebody who's not into the stuff, and they'll be like, all right, cool, it's actually really good. Because a friend of mine, like I let her use our Disney Plus thing, and she's been watching it, and she's like, wow, this is really good. And I was like, yeah, like Disney doesn't do garbage. So as evil as they fucking are, they know what they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's fucking good. It's fucking
the only thing that I would have loved. Well, here's the other thing. Like, here's where I put my nerd hat on. There's at the end of Endgame, we don't know what happened to Steve after that, right? So that Steve Rogers is running around at the same time this is going on, because this is like, after everything. But what's fucked up about it too is that like Steve was around when they were fucking around with the super soldier serum, and he didn't know. And I was just like, I would have loved for like in one of the background scenes, like there's some old guy and Steve Rogers looking at what happened. The other thing is that like I couldn't believe that they showed Isaiah Bradley, because that comic book Truth was super controversial when it came out. Like when you read the trade paperback, they have this whole like afterward and forward about what how the comic was and what happened to the publication of the comic book, because it was really controversial. This was like 10 years ago, where people were like really not as like enlightened about certain things. And I would have loved for Steve Rogers to pop up, but like the thing about the comic Truth is that like the way it ends is way worse to me. It's way worse than what happens in the show. They killed like 300 soldiers just to keep them quiet. Like they round up a bunch of black soldiers just to get volunteers for the thing, and they take like 25 and they kill the rest of them. And then that whole squad, like they kind of survive the super soldier thing, but they don't, because they all end up dying. And like between missions and just the super soldier serum being unstable, they all start dying off. Isaiah's the only one left, and at the end of it, he's like brain dead because they experimented on him for 30 fucking years. And yeah, his wife is gone, and he's a vegetable. His wife survives, but he's a vegetable. And then like after that, something happens that he has to, because the kid gets powers from his blood, but not like through birth. Like, he almost dies or something, and the only person that can give him blood is Isaiah. That's how he becomes Patriot.
That makes sense.
But yeah, like that comic book is so fucked up. Like if you pick it up, it's definitely like if you saw this and you're like, all right, I want to see more of this. Like definitely pick up Truth. There's a whole bunch of trades that actually have the Sam Cap stuff in it, and even in that comic book, like they talk about the whole white and black thing in the first couple of issues, because it's like a big issue in the first couple of like the first story arc of that comic is like the world. It's like the world getting ready to like accept him as Captain America. And it's a really good run. It's a really good comic.
Yeah, it really is. Like I read like the first, I think it was like the first 10 issues or so. And I was like, oh, this is actually really damn good. It's cool to see that they actually put a lot of mind into how people actually take it all in at the same time.
Yeah. And the other thing too that I had to like make peace with in my head, and I did this a long time ago, but like there's certain times where I don't think representation should be a part of something, but when it comes to something like this, I think it's a huge deal. I think it's a generic, and not generic, it's a natural extension of what happened in the movies and comic books, and then what we see in the show. Like, you know, I understand now like how representation really matters. Like it's like there's when I was growing up, there was no representation of what I was, or even anything close to what we are. We're like metalheads from the Bronx, where everyone's into hip hop and merengue, and like I never saw like a tattooed rock and roll guy who's out of his fucking mind in anything that I read or saw. So I never really understood what representation meant to people, because I've always been like outside of every norm. But now I get it, because it's like, you know, kids want to be Captain America, and shows like this show them that they can be a Captain America. Like, Captain America can be anybody. It's just it's not just a symbol. Like they said in one of the episodes, like it's not just a symbol; it's the people behind the symbol, and that's like the whole thing of it, which I love. I mean, they did such a good job with this, man.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Yeah, like you were saying, really, like I never saw anything that really, you know, any character that fit, I guess, our description. Like, we were fucking metalheads from the Bronx. Like that didn't happen at all. The only character that kind of opened my eyes was like Steve Rogers, because his name was fucking Steve. I was like, oh shit, his name is like mine. I'm gonna follow that character, and I did. And like, but besides that, like, no other character when I was younger, I was like, I didn't give a fuck about. There wasn't anything that really, you know, fit my mold until I actually, you know, found out about Captain America, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And it's just like, it's something that, you know, it helps, especially now that everything is trying to be more inclusive with everything. I like it. I like how the world is turning, and it's evolving into something bigger and better.
Absolutely.
We hope it is.
Yeah, we can hope so, exactly. And especially now that a lot of the MCU stuff is gonna be all over the place. Of course, you know, they have, you know, more female heroes, more heroes of, you know, other races that we're gonna be seeing soon. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, especially with like Ms. Marvel coming out, and when they were talking about Riri actually being you know, in like live action and stuff like that. It's gonna be cool.
The next thing is gonna be MODOK, right? And then Loki, and then Black Widow, right?
I think they pushed back with Widow a little bit more too.
Because Shang-Chi's September, October. Shang-Chi's like at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's an exciting time to, you know, be a nerd or be a geek like we are. It's fucking awesome. Very exciting. So any final words for Falcon or Captain America Winter Soldier?
The most I got is something I saw earlier, was that when Carly's like stand down, and Falcon is, or Captain America is like, no, like this is basically Sam's version of I can do this all day.
Yeah.
I love the conversation between him and Eli at the end, Isaiah at the end.
Yeah,
he's like, you're special. You're not Malcolm or Nelson or Mandela, but you're special.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
Yeah. Now, one of my favorite lines of the thing was like, "Oh yeah, look, it's Black Falcon." It's like, no, it's not Black Falcon.
It's Captain America.
It's not Black Falcon. It's Captain America.
I think that line's from the comic. I gotta double check, but I think
so too. Yeah. But it was really cool to see it. It was really cool. And I'm excited. I'm glad that came through, and I'm glad that they're actually in talks. in production for a new Captain America movie, and the possibilities at this point are pretty much endless. We could get more Sam Cap, or we get more Bucky as Cap eventually. So
I mean, they said they're down. Like they've been talking. I guess this week because it's the finale. Like they can talk about stuff. They're like, yeah, if they want to do another season, like I'll do whatever the fuck they want us to do. I know Stan said that about Feige. Yeah. He was like, yo, whatever they want us to do, we'll do. Like, we'll come back. The thing about all this shit too is that, like, as someone who grew up with this stuff and who grew up during the 90s where like we didn't have anything, like it's so validating that like so many people love this shit. Like I know I've said it before and I talked about it a lot. But I think it like vindicates us because like when we were kids, man, we got so much shit for this stuff.
Yep.
And like people were fucking mean to us, and I'm like, yo, and then now I can go to Target and see a kid wearing a fucking Captain America shirt, like, and a Batman shirt, and like, it's a really good feeling. Like sometimes I wish I had kids just to be able to fucking like, yeah, let's watch G.I. Joe or this and that, and I'm like, yo, like shit is it's awesome to be a nerd now. Like I love that, like everything's so accessible, and like you can get whatever you want from Amazon to read, or like like just so much shit that's like that people have now, and even us too, because I there's a lot of shit that I lost that over the years that I got again through like the internet and Amazon. I'm just so happy that like everyone else is kind of like
they're catching
on the
up.
Same, they're on the same wavelength. I said that shit a lot during Avengers, like Infinity War and Endgame. I'm like, yo, this is what we're trying to fucking tell you people for years. And you just kept fucking, dunking us in the toilet and shit. But like, yeah, like this stuff is awesome.
Goddamn swirlies.
Yeah, this shit was awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking good. I'm glad we are at the pinnacle of fucking pop culture.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that pretty much wraps it up this week, right?
Yeah. I got my fuck you out to Mystery Science Theater, so I'm good.
yeah, and we'll have more shit. We'll go back to the regularly scheduled program next week. We do have some shit that we didn't cover in this episode, but we'll cover it next week because of course next week is more shit, and then of course next week we'll also be talking about Invincible.
Yeah, there's only like one after this week's episode.
After this week, there's one more episode next week. Yeah. That's it.
That shit was quick, dude. Like that show's really good.
Yeah,
I really like that show.
Yeah, because Amazon put out like 3 episodes on the first day, and they were like, "Fuck it, check it out." We bang it out real quick. But yeah, Invincible and the regular geek shit next week. So stay tuned for that. But until then, go to InnerCityGeeks.net. We got a whole bunch of shit sometimes. We have this show. We have a whole bunch of other shit. Of course, we have other shows. We have It's Poppin' with Fan of the Films, Fan of the Film Girl, Fan Girl. Yeah. The InnerCityGeeks webcomic, Brides of J Presents, ICGPW Slamcast. It's what is it? First Watch, the InnerCityGeeks Turntable. So much shit there. Comments over Manga Time Anime World. All the shit's on there. Go check all that shit out on InnerCityGeeks.net. Then we also have cool places that you can go to on there. You got some Beardly stuff from Beard Octane. Type in ICG10 for 10% off of your stuff. Then there's also Soul Sick Clothing Company. We get some pretty cool shirts and hats and stuff. Type in InnerCityGeeks for 15% off. Then we got CBDMD for some CBD goodness. Go there. You got Amazon Prime. Click on the Amazon link and you can get some Amazon Prime for freezies for the first month if you don't have it yet. But you can check that out, and then you could watch 000 on there. That's a fucking great series. And you can watch it for free. So go do that. Yeah. And then we also have a link to Sideshow Collectibles. We got some pretty cool fucking shit. A lot of cool shit on Sideshow Collectibles. So go check
I love that they're one of our sponsors. It makes you feel like, kind of a big deal now.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking great. They got a lot of cool shit on there. So go check that shit out. Yeah, and you can find us on SoundCloud, on Stitcher Radio, Google Podcasts, and on motherfucking Spotify. Just look up Inner City Geeks. Of course, you guys know because you guys listen, but let everybody else know. And then you can send them to our socials, so you can find us on the Facey Space on faceyspace.com/InnerCityGeeks, on Instagram at InnerCityGeeks, on the Twitter at InnerCityGeeks. And where can we find you guys? Renee, where can we find you?
You can find me at DarthBX, DarthBX, all one word. And yeah.
Nice. Brian, where can we find you, sir?
You could find me ready to go watch Invincible and be caught up.
Nice.
And gearing up for the birthday party tomorrow. You can find me on social media. I'm Bry underscore wow. Take 3 action. You can find me on Twitter at Bry_2J, BRI_2J. On Instagram, Bry2J Presents, or just Bry2J if you want to just check my regular one. Check out the YouTube channel and Bry2JPresents.com, and things will be coming shortly.
Sweet.
By shortly, I mean sometime in 2021.
Sometime soon.
Sometime soon.
Yeah, soonish. Yeah, and you guys can find me on the Instagram and the Twitter at Mr. Jackal, MisterJackal. And that's it. So say goodbye to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Later, guys.
Yes, and thank you guys for listening. Appreciate you guys actually being here and listening to us talk about the geeky shits. So don't be a dick, but always remember that the geeks shall inherit the earth.